Your competitor just launched a website that rewrites itself for every single visitor. Still building one-size-fits-all experiences? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which adaptive personalization tool to deploy first and how to make it learn your users faster than they can leave. I'm sitting with Dr. Vera Nexus in her workshop, and she's showing me something that makes my stomach drop. She pulls up 3 different user sessions from the same e-commerce site, same product page, but the layouts are completely different. One user sees a video demo at the top. Another sees customer reviews first. The third gets a pricing calculator that wasn't even visible to the others. The interface restructured itself, she says, touching the silver port behind her ear almost unconsciously. The personalization engine didn't just recommend different products. It rebuilt the entire page architecture based on behavioral prediction models. I checked my analog watch. It's been 17 seconds since I asked her to show me the future of web experiences. I'm already behind. Here's what most people miss about adaptive personalization in 2025. You think it's about showing different content to different users. That's table stakes now. That's what Netflix did in 2018. What's happening now is architectural personalization. Interfaces that don't just change what you see, but how you see it, where buttons live, what navigation appears, even how fast content loads based on your attention patterns. These systems are tracking micro behaviors most analytics tools don't even measure. The half-second pause before a click, the slight scroll back up to reread something, the way someone's cursor drifts toward an element but never quite reaches it, all of that becomes data. All of that becomes prediction. And if you're still running static experiences while your competitors deploy learning systems, you're not just losing conversions. You're training users to expect intelligence everywhere except your platform. Dr. Vera showed me the data. Adaptive interfaces are outperforming static ones by 340% in engagement duration. Not because the content is better, because the structure learns. Because the page remembers what confused the last 100 people who behaved similarly and removes that friction before the next person encounters it. The gap is widening every week, and most people don't even know these tools exist yet. Let me tell you about Marcus Chen. 3 months ago, he was running a mid-sized online education platform. Good content, decent traffic, but his completion rates were stuck at 23%. Students would start courses and vanish. He tried everything: better video production, shorter modules, gamification badges. Nothing moved the needle. Then he discovered something that changed everything. He was at a conference in Austin, sitting in the back row, checking his watch because he had a flight in 2 hours. A speaker mentioned adaptive learning pathways. Not the kind where you manually build different tracks for different students. The kind where the AI watches how each student interacts and rebuilds the entire course structure in real time. Marcus almost left early, but something made him stay. The speaker showed a demo. 2 students taking the same course. The first student kept rewinding videos and hovering over definitions. The system detected this, and within 3 lessons, it had automatically inserted glossary pop-ups, slowed down complex explanations, and moved supplementary resources higher in the sidebar. The second student was speeding through content, skipping examples. The system detected this too, and started hiding basic explanations, surfacing advanced case studies, and creating challenge modules that didn't exist in the original course design. The interface was learning their cognitive patterns and rebuilding itself. Marcus flew home and immediately started testing IntelliMize for his landing pages and Persado for his email sequences. But the real transformation came when he implemented Dynamic Yield's adaptive course builder. He integrated it with his existing platform. Took maybe 4 hours and let it watch his students for 2 weeks without changing anything, just observation mode. The system built behavioral profiles for 847 active students. It identified 17 distinct learning patterns he'd never noticed. Visual processors who needed diagrams first. Text scanners who wanted summaries at the top. Hands-on builders who skipped theory entirely and went straight to practice exercises. There were the methodical readers who consumed everything linearly, spending equal time on each section. And there were the hopscotch learners who jumped around frantically, pulling pieces from different modules to build their own understanding. The system even found a small cluster of students who learned best when content was presented as questions they had to answer before seeing the explanation. Then Marcus flipped the switch. He let the system start adapting. Within 1 week, his completion rates jumped to 34%. Within 6 weeks, they hit 51%. Same courses, same content. But now the structure was personalized to how each brain actually processes information. I talked to him last month. He told me something that stuck with me. I used to think personalization meant showing people their names and emails. This is different. This is the AI understanding how someone thinks before they do. Here's the part most people miss when they hear stories like this. They assume it's complicated. They assume you need a data science team and 6 months of implementation. Stay on this for a second. This is the part everyone scrolls past. Marcus didn't build this from scratch. He used existing tools that do the heavy lifting. The AI was already trained. The algorithms were already built. He just connected them to his platform and turned them on. No machine learning degree required. No hiring data scientists. No custom code beyond a basic integration that the platform walked him through step by step. That's what we're really talking about here. Not theoretical AI. Not future tech. Tools that exist right now with interfaces you can learn in an afternoon. The system Marcus uses. Dynamic yield. It watches mouse movements, scroll depth, click hesitation, time between actions. It's measuring cognitive load in real time. When someone's overwhelmed, it simplifies. When someone's bored, it deepens. The interface becomes a mirror of how that specific person learns. It notices when someone reads the same paragraph 3 times and flags that content as potentially confusing for similar users. It tracks how long someone hovers before clicking a button and adjusts the button's prominence based on confidence patterns. And every interaction makes it smarter. So here's what you're going to do. 1 action. Right after this video, go to Dynamic Yield's website and sign up for their free trial. Connect it to one page. Your homepage, your product page, your course, landing page, whatever gets the most traffic. Turn on observation mode for 1 week. Just watch. The AI will show you behavioral patterns you didn't know existed. You'll see which elements people ignore completely, which ones create confusion, which ones drive action. Then activate one adaptive element. Just one. Maybe it's repositioning your call to action based on scroll behavior. Maybe it's changing headline copy based on traffic source. Pick the simplest one the system recommends. Watch what happens over the next 7 days. That's it. 1 tool, 1 page, 1 week. If this just shifted how you think about user experience, subscribe. Next episode, we're covering the AI tools that predict customer behavior before it happens. The ones who adapt first will own the next decade.